Hello everyone, welcome back to StudyBuddy Code's channel. We're solving SAT Maths question in the domain algebra and the difficulty is medium. And these questions selected are not included in BlueBook Practice Tests. These are the remaining questions. You can see how I did this in the previous video where we solved the slope of a specific line. Okay. Let's start solving this question now. A cargo helicopter delivers only 100-pound packages and 120-pound packages. For each delivery trip, the helicopter must carry at least 10 packages, and the total weight of the packages can be at most 1,100 pounds. What is the maximum number of 120-pound packages that the helicopter can carry per trip? Okay. So first, I'm going to let you pause the video and try to solve it by yourselves. Alright. So, how many packages is this helicopter delivering, or how many types of packages is this helicopter delivering? 2. Let's name them using one letter, X and Y. Let's choose the iconic ones. All right, next. For each delivery trip, the helicopter must carry at least 10 packages. See, here we've said that X are 100-pound packages, right? We've just labeled them, and Y is 120-pound packages. And the total packages, the number of packages, okay? Here we have two things that we're talking about. The number and the weight. Okay, it's very important that you identify the difference between them in this question. So for the first part, we're talking about the number of packages. So the number of packages, X plus Y, should be at least 10 packages. So at least means that, okay, for example, you should have at least 10 marks to pass a test, for example. You should at least receive 10 marks to pass a test. So what does that mean? 10 is the minimum marks that you're supposed to get. So here, 10 is the minimum number of packages. That means you can certainly deliver, this helicopter can certainly deliver more than 10 packages. So we're going to write this as an equation. Since we said the sum, the number of packages can be delivered more than 10. However, it should be at least 10. So greater than or equal to 10. It cannot be lower than that. That is the minimum. Okay? And now we're talking about the weight. And the total weight of the packages can be at most 1,100 pounds. At most here means, let's take the marks example again. In this test, you can score at most 100 marks. That means that is the maximum marks that you can score. So here at most means that it's, well, the maximum number of, we're talking about the weight of these packages, the maximum measure of weight of these packages. Okay. How do we find out the weight of these? Or we don't know the number of packages just yet, right? We're just named them as X and Y. So we can say, okay, let me just write it first. Okay, so see here, for example, if I tell you, X, we have given this to 100-pound packages, right? So if I say, okay, here I have given you 2 packages, and I want you to calculate the weight of these 2 packages. Okay, for 100 pounds. We're not talking about 120, okay? We're just talking about 100. Then you would say, oh, okay, so 2 times 100 would be 200-pound packages, correct? So what we're doing here is 2 is X, correct? And we're just multiplying it by 100. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're just multiplying the weight of each package to x because we don't know the number of packages. Same case here, 120y. And here, it's less than or equal to 1,100 pounds because this is the maximum that we're talking about. It cannot be more than that, but it can be equal than that. That's why it's less than or equal to 100 pounds. So let me just change the color now. Please give me a second. Okay. All right, that's good. So here, now with that we have that, we can substitute. Okay, let me just pause here. There are two ways to solve this. One, calculate, substitute here, and first of all, subtract this here and then substitute here. And the second way is to just use decimals. Okay. However, I'm going to show you both ways. I'm not going to skip any one way. I would definitely say using decimals would be way faster. However, if you have time in your exam, you can check your answers. That's really amazing. You can check your answers and you can use the first way, which is by calculating. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. First, let's label them. 1, 2. 2. Okay. 1. X plus y is greater than or equal to 10. Okay. So I'm going to be choosing y to be sent to the other side because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because if I send this to the other side, I'll be substituting x here, right? I'll just show you. You'll understand. X is greater than or equal to 10 minus y. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. Now you'll understand why I chose to send y to the other side because I'll show you. Okay, here. 100x plus 120y is less than or equal to 1,100. I'm going to substitute x with this thing we've just found out. 100 times 10 minus y plus 120y is less than or equal to 1100. Okay, so we're going to multiply this. 0 minus 100y plus 120y is less than or equal to 1100. Okay, we'll need more space. 1,000, okay, minus 100 plus 120, if you put that in a calculator, immediately you'll get plus 20y is less than or equal to 1100. Okay, so I'm going to make more space here. Okay, so I'm going to make more space here. Let me just scroll down a bit. All right. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so let's, wrong marker. Okay. Right, 20y. Now we're going to send 1,000 to the other side is less than or equal to 1100 minus 1,000. That will be, this is a lot of zeros. 120y is less than or equal to 100. Okay. Now y is, okay, we're dividing or multiplying. Whenever you're doing that, it's important to note the sign. It's not as important when you're adding or subtracting, but if you're dividing, for example, if you had negative 20 here, then you would have to exchange the sign, flip the sign to the other side like this. However, that's not the case right now, so we can just go ahead with that. 100 divided by 20, which will lead to y is less than or equal to 5, correct? Yes, 5. Okay, so y can be less than or equal to 5. That is the maximum number of packages for 120-pound packages. So you see, now you understand why I chose to to send y to the other side, so that we can substitute here and we can find out y, which is what the question is asking us. So the answer is C. Now, without doing all of these steps, you can do it simply in Desmos. However, these two steps are really important. You need to get these nailed down, like making these kind of equations, because this is what you're going to be inputting in Desmos. I'll just show you that now. Okay, so I've typed the equations that we formed using with the help of the question, of course. And here, as you can see, there's a certain inequality. This is an inequality equation. You will get such a graph. And here, your answer lies in this point where the two lines meet. That is where, both values are equal to each other, and when both of these conditions are met. Okay, and that is the value you need. So you see, x is, let me just put it here. Yep, x is 5 and y is also 5. So the maximum number of packages that can be delivered by y is, that is 120 pounds is 5, which is C, as we just solved.